All right, let's talk JJ McCarthy here of the Minnesota Vikings, who had, let's just be honest, a rough go of it for most of this game. Ultimately, history almost repeated itself with the week one matchup being a game where the Vikings struggled for three quarters, ultimately won. This game, they struggled for three quarters, ultimately came back, did not get the victory though. So let's talk about what went wrong in the first three quarters, and then we'll touch on what went right at the end there. But really, there was a lot of missed throws. Like this play, for example, you see it's zone coverage, Jefferson running a route toward the outside on 3rd and 3. McCarthy's going to take the snap, and right at this moment, I mean, you can see there's a bit of separation for sure. And you know, I also feel like I should mention, you've already seen Jefferson cut. So this isn't a communication issue. This is simply just watch as this throw is it's just off. I mean, there's no other way to put it. McCarthy throws it too far towards the outside. If you make an accurate throw, you have a conversion on 3rd down. Instead, you don't. And these are plays that you can't win with. And this was one mistake. There were plenty of these in this game. There was this one where I don't even know who he was throwing it to exactly. Maybe this one was communication because that was so off that was possibly what happened there. You have this one, though. That's not communication. That one's just off. You have this play on a 3rd down and 7. McCarthy's going to just throw one way over Justin Jefferson's head. And in this one, he was hit as he was thrown in this one, so that's why it was low. A little bit more understandable. But still, I mean, a ball that went into the defender's hands could have easily been intercepted. And ultimately, lucky it wasn't on that play. And again, yes, you were hit as you were thrown. You have to be aware of the pressure and where it's coming and how that's going to affect your throws. Those are just the things he's going to have to learn at the NFL level. We can go over here while we are discussing the plays that did not work out, the missed throws, the near interceptions. Let's talk about the actual interceptions as well, which this one is, I think, in many ways, just a really good play. So you see the route that McCarthy is going to look towards. This is going to end up being a one-on-one matchup over the middle. JJ McCarthy is going to take the snap, and he's going to run a play action, and he's following that over the middle. And it's one of those things where when you run the play action, you hope those players over the middle get out of position. And in college, they get much more out of position than they do at the NFL level. And I feel like I mentioned this every JJ McCarthy film study because it does seem like it's a thing he's struggling with a bit so far in his young career. But one thing that pretty much every quarterback will tell you when they enter the league, the two biggest surprises once you get out there is one, just how much quicker the game moves, and two, how much more athletic the defensive backs are. It's Kevin Byard, a safety. I think for McCarthy, he sort of just assumes that if he can get it, if his receiver down the field can get open, this play will work. But Byard covers ground. It's a guy you're not really expecting to be over there in that spot, but you kind of have to learn to expect that because, again, these types of players move very well. Also on the other interception, so there's 42 seconds left in the half at this point, but you're at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. You have all three timeouts. Like the clock is not really an issue at this point, but if you have a chance to go down the field, take it, right? The route you see on your screen is going to be kind of a double move. I mean, they're trying to get to the end zone here, and why not? Maybe the opponent won't be ready for it. It makes sense. Watch as JJ McCarthy is going to look down the field, fires down the field, and again, this is open. I mean, you push this kind of towards the back corner of the end zone, it's going to be tough, and really, ideally, you would just like the ball to kind of be getting there now instead of a beat later, but ultimately, it's a play that could work, but his throw is just a little bit late, a little bit underthrown, and again, a great defensive play there to end up as the interception. So, got to give credit to the Bears defenders for making these plays work, but you also got to put some blame on the guy who's ultimately throwing it to them. And also, this was something that was happening a lot in this game. So this is a 3rd down and 7. You have a receiver, it's Jordan Addison on this one, who's going to run a route trying to get more over the middle on this play. That's what, there could be a little kind of gap in coverage. That's what they're trying to hit. And watch as when McCarthy takes the snap, he's going to look. It's a nice route by Addison, fakes it though he's going to his left, goes towards his right. It's a tough window for McCarthy, and he's moving here, so definitely difficult. But watch this really nice throw, and Addison can't quite hang on there. Not a drop necessarily. Maybe he would call it a drop. I'm sure, receivers will tell you they should catch anything that they can get their hands on. But ultimately, it would have been a bit of a tough catch, right? Tight window, you had contact on you, all of that. But like heading over here, I mean, there were just a ton of those types of plays. And this is a drop on 3rd and 4. Had a chance at moving the sticks on that one. This one on a 1st down and 10. That's a drop right there. You had a 2nd down and 7 midway through the 4th, where that one's a drop. Wouldn't have gone for a first, but could have made it an easier third. This them would have gone for a first, leads to a drop that led to a 4th down, which they converted on. So that's part of it too, is the receivers have to help out McCarthy. I mean, it felt like guys were getting open consistently, and McCarthy would either miss them or he would hit them, and then the guys would drop it. Like, yes, and then Chicago made a couple of, when there was tight coverage, Chicago would get the interception. So it just kind of all felt that way. So now let's go over here, because all of a sudden, the Minnesota Vikings, so you see the scores, they're only down 6, and part of that is just their defense is very much keeping them in at 16-10. It was 16-3. The Vikings got a touchdown drive where it was just a long punt return and then a long rushing touchdown, so not a lot of what McCarthy was doing. Here, though, they were going to need some JJ McCarthy, good plays. You see the Chicago Bears are selling out as though they're going to blitz. What are they going to do? Are they going to blitz? Are they going to drop back into coverage? Well, they're going to blitz. I mean, look, all of them go, and this is not what you want if you're Chicago. Look at how clean this pocket is. This looks like a one-man rush, let alone a 6-man rush for Chicago. Granted, one of those guys is spying at McCarthy, actually, but still, this is not what you want. McCarthy able to hang in there. There's an open receiver, able to make that play work. So now you have this one, which is, a little bit further on. You have 56 seconds left in this situation. It's going to be a cover 2 zone that the Chicago Bears are going to run right here. And this is a nice play from JJ McCarthy. Watch how he takes a snap, and he notices that's the corner who is closest towards the top of the screen. He's supposed to cover the flat, and you see that he is kind of right at the numbers, and his hips are turned towards the middle of the field. Minnesota has a lot of receivers in that area, including the guy you see circled in yellow, who is going to kind of run behind him. Now, there is a safety deep you have to worry about as well, so you got to get the ball there quickly. McCarthy is able to do that, gets the ball there just in time for Jordan Addison to make the grab. The Vikings take the lead. Ultimately, then there's a long special teams play that they give up right after, which sinks them, and the Bears end up with a 4th quarter comeback after all of it. But, McCarthy did make some plays. But again, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep getting yourself down this much, and this is the perfect example of why, because then you're at the whim of one thing going wrong and losing the game. And there's so many missed throws right now from McCarthy. That's the biggest issue. Him misreading certain plays, it's going to happen. He's still essentially a rookie, a second-year player. Like, it is what it is. But the accuracy issues is kind of the biggest concern that I would have right now if I'm a Vikings fan, and you hope that can get better. Everyone used to say you can't fix accuracy, and then Josh Allen got his accuracy fixed, and now we don't know what that means. But ultimately, it's something he's going to have to get better at. And part of that is just getting chemistry down with these players. He hasn't played a ton with these receivers, right? That's a part of it. But yeah, that's kind of my main issues of him right now. Again, his career is very much just getting started. We will see what unfolds. But for now, not the best stuff from JJ McCarthy. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.